The design of cars is very important in ensuring the passengers are safe.
How can that make the cars any safer?
Well, things like the crumple zone, safety glass, airbags, and seatbelts all work together when you crash to give you the best chance of not being injured.
What is the crumple zone?
The crumple zone is how far the car will bend to absorb the force of an impact. The amount of damage caused by the crash is the force and the time. The amount of force determines the amount of damage but the amount of time is how quickly the damage will occur. If it happens very quickly, there is a chance for more injury to happen.
Alright, but I still don't know how the others work.
Well, safety glass is made so the glass won't break and make dangerous sharp shards that could cut someone in an accident. The airbags deploy when the car senses that is in a crash and are used as a pillow so that the driver and passengers' heads won't hit the dashboard. Seatbelts are not always used, but they should be because they keep you from flying out of the car if you roll or get into an accident. Seatbelts have come a long way from when they were first used. Originally, they were very thin and low on the stomach. The problem with that is that the pressure of the crash would send the person forward, and they would be hurt by the seatbelt.
And now seatbelts are thicker and make the pressure more spread out between the body. Also, they have two straps to hold your body in place without hurting you. But all those are pretty old. How is safety advancing?
Well, they become safer and safer, and cars are starting to meet with EDRs, or event data recorders. The EDRs can track someone's driving and help them learn how to become a safer driver and be used to see what happens during a crash before to see who was at fault. Some can even brake when the sensors on the car detect something in front or back of the
Someone's
car.
response time.
What's response time?
Response time is the time it takes a person to react to a given event.
Well, how is response time related to driving?
It is related to driving by having to do things like putting your foot from the gas to the brake or turning out of the way of someone or something in the road.
Oh, so it's from when you think about it until you do it, right?
Yeah, you're right. And everyone's response time is a little different.
Well, since everyone's response time is different, then how would the state make it safer for everyone?
To make driving more safe for everyone, the state will put in speed limits pertaining to the landscape and the people surrounding the roads to make it so people's response time is as quick as possible.
Will the speed limit help with fender benders and stuff like that?
Yes and no. Speed limits will help with controlling speeds in places where there are a lot of sharp turns or people, so braking and stopping is easier, but when it comes to fender benders, that's when you need a safe following distance. When you are following a car, when they pass a certain object, you should be able to count 3 seconds by the time you are passing the object the car in front of you had already passed.
Why did they choose 3 seconds instead of 5 or something?
There is no reason for choosing 3 seconds. They can also vary by state for how many seconds they want you to use. But for NH and DMV has tested and confirmed that 3 seconds is safe for tailing. One thing I remember from physics is when taking a curve, it is important to remember the forces that are involved with it, such as friction, centripetal force, and inertia.
What is centripetal force?
Centripetal force is the force you feel when taking a roundabout or when you're in a traffic circle, that pulling feeling.
How does the friction interfere with turning?
Since the car tires are changing direction, the car receives an increase in force of static friction, which causes a centripetal force towards the middle of the roundabout, causing you to turn.
And how about inertia?
Inertia is a property of matter by which it continues in its existing state of rest or uniform motion in a straight line unless that state is changed by an external force.